Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll call our workshop session to order. First order of business this evening is discussion regarding planning and creating an economic development corporation strategic plan. Ms. Stacy, thank you.
Yes. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So this in front of you, basically I wanted to put this agenda item in front of you to be able to let you know that the LADC is going to start doing a economic development strategic plan. The last one was in 2001, and we want to update that and then also communicate, get the council and the LADC on the same page, and so we can get that going forward, as well as get support from the business community as well as residents here in Lampasas. So I took this option to LADC last month to determine if we wanted to contract it out. They decided to not do that and keep it internal to save us some funds, and we also can utilize the other plans that we already have to go forward with this. So this is just a breakdown of what I'm envisioning it being like. Because it is being done internal, we might change certain things or add some things along the way. So first phase, where we're now, we're going to set the benchmarks and understanding of all the challenges, engaging the community. So basically what we're going to be doing first, the deliverables, is going to be a community assessment, which is what is on the back of the page, the handouts that are in front of you. I'll talk about that in a second. And then do a market and industry analysis and economic outlook. So we're going to kick this off at the meeting on Wednesday, and we really encourage council to come and be a part of that. But if you cannot make it, then you can fill out the community assessment that's in front of you. I'll also send you a digital version, and so that we can utilize that information going forward while determining what are our challenges and assets, so that we can then go to phase 2, which is where do we want to be, and that's defining our goals and expected outcomes. And the deliverables on that would be community and stakeholder engagement, so sending out surveys to business owners and residents, anybody that wants to give feedback, and do a goal-setting work session, which again, we hope council and LADC will be involved, and anybody in the community will be allowed to come to that. So, and then phase 3 will be how will we get there. So strategies are, the activities or strategies are determined, an action plan is created with the roles, responsibilities, and performance metrics. So with all of this information, we'll put together an action plan, an implementation plan, and tools, as well as a performance dashboard. So that's just basically being able to show the progress of the action plan. So then when I do my annual report, we can come back, and that is what I'm going to be referencing, so we can all be on the same page and move forward in increasing economic development in Lampasas. And so that's it. Any questions?
I think one thing that probably can't overemphasize is being important to stress that this is an inclusive process. That not only it's not an LADC strategic plan, it's a city strategic plan. I think we want to also utilize what information we were able to put together through the comprehensive plan in terms of those action steps. Council input is critical to this process, as well as stakeholder input. So we think it'll be a positive result.
Right. Thank you.
Discussion regarding any item on the regular agenda, and I think you had a...
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to discuss item 7.2. Discussion and possible action regarding voting of individuals, Lampasas Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. I'd like to get some clarification, Finley, in regards to how the voting works, how our votes are distributed, how the process is, timeframes in which this needs to be completed by us, the City Council.
I think Becky did a pretty good job on your summary page, as well as you can reference some of the timelines that we've provided you previously. But generally, you got 278 votes. Our vote count is about 5% of the total votes that will be cast for these directors. You will be asked through your motion to provide, to cast your votes in number and in name. You can cast your votes for 7. You can divide your 278 out of over 7. You can give 278 to one candidate. But I think to cut to it, you make your motion and cast votes by number and name. And you can divide those up however you wish. I believe the time frame on this is December 15. We'll verify that, but if you wanted to wait until the next meeting and take this up, you could. However, I felt like based on council's nominations, you were probably ready to take it up at this meeting. But you could push it to next meeting if you like. Is that?
Anything else, Mr. Price?
No, sir.
One clarification on that, Finley, is that a unanimous across the board vote, or is it individual per city council member?
No, I think what you're actually going to do is cast your votes and name and number, but you're also going to do this by passage of a resolution. And I think the passage of the resolution is just a simple majority.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn workshop?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. This time, we'd like to call our regular session to order.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for such a great place, a great community, a great group of people. We ask that you be with us tonight and help us to do the best we can to make some good decisions for the betterment of our whole community. We ask that you be with us in safety. We thank you greatly for the moisture we've received lately. We ask that you forgive us of our sins and watch over us. And as always, in Jesus' name, amen. Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
At this time, I'd like to make a presentation and a proclamation and recognizing the 2 Lampasas police officers and dispatcher for life-saving efforts. At this time, I'll read the proclamation and presentation. We're proud to recognize 3 Lampasas finest for their life-saving effort. On August 10th, 2023. I'm gonna wait till they come in, excuse me.
We got a crowd there.
All right, we're gonna backpedal here. We are proud to recognize 3 of Lampasas' finest for the life-saving effort. On August the 10th, 2023, Officer John Reza and Officer Carlos Rodriguez responded to a call for service at a residence located in the city of Lampasas. The reporting party stated that the male subject was not responsive and they believed it was a drug overdose. Upon arrival, Officer Carlos Rodriguez found the victim was down and not breathing. He immediately initiated the cardiopulmonary resuscitation CPR on the 42-year-old male, while Officer Rodriguez administered CPR. Officer John Reza administered 2 doses of Narcan to the victim. Together they were able to get a return spontaneous circulation and the victim began breathing on his own. There is no doubt that their actions and quick decision making saved this person's life. Officer John Reza and Carlos Rodriguez, you should be commended for your life-saving effort and quick thinking. On the morning of October the 3rd, 2023, a 65-year-old male entered the lobby of the police department, stating that something about having been stung multiple times by bees and then collapsed onto the floor. Dispatcher Marissa Smith was working the dispatch station. 2 heard the subject when he came in. Dispatcher Smith sprang into action, ran into the lobby, and administered a dose from the EpiPen the subject had with him but was unable to administer himself. She then stayed with him, talking to him and keeping him calm until Hamilton EMS and the Lampasas Fire Department arrived on the scene. It was later learned that this subject had a severe allergic reaction to bee stings. In the past, has previously gone into a coma after having been stung. He did state to the EMS crew that he could feel his airways closing prior to the dose of the EpiPen being given. Dispatcher Marissa Smith, recognizing the life-threatening situation quickly and her speedily action, prevented this man's airway from closing, potentially causing a respiratory cardiac arrest. Dispatcher Marissa Smith should be commended for her life-saving effort and quick thinking. These 3 receive a plaque and a letter from the American Police Hall of Fame, museum letter of commendation for their from their immediate supervisors for their personal file. We want to say thank you.
Stand in the back. Stand in front of us. Anyway. One more. You gotta do the thing like a dog.
John, you got the bear family.
front, because you're clear. Sure.
Charge the city vehicles.
Hold on.
That's what I mean.
Press it, give it a time.
All right. Thank you.
Congratulations. Wait, wait, sure.
So we don't get confused.
All right, we'll move on to 1.1, public hearing for citizens' comments. Citizens' comment is any citizen who desires to address the council on a matter not included in the agenda may do so at this time. The city council may not deliberate on present items under this agenda. And there is none. 1.2, citizens' comment. Any citizen who desires to address the citizen council on a matter that is included may do so at this time. And Nathan Carroll, is that right?
Mayor, council, this is the third time I've been here. I think you're well aware of why I'm here. You know, I presented the issues going on over at the CAD on the way they're not implementing the 10% cap for anyone that's applied late for the homestead exemptions. And I've been to the board several times. I have filed a complaint per their own procedures on the website. They fail to acknowledge the complaint. They're not following their own policies. Miss Jones over there is not following the tax code. She's not giving residents their 10% cap that they're entitled to. The board is not taking any action. And I've repeatedly been to them. And I want to first start off by thanking you for nominating 2 people that are not currently on the board. The last time I was here, you know, I had asked that, you know, none of the current board be nominated. I understand that you have to nominate somebody. I can respect that decision. But the things over at the CAD they're not going the way they should be. The board won't address the issues. They're doing nothing about what's going on over there. All I'm hearing are excuses out of that district over there and our chief appraiser. You know, they told me that the software won't apply the 10% cap. The lawyer told me that the reason they picked the software is because they didn't want to do the 10% cap. Well, I've already given you a map that shows you all the counties surrounding us that use the same software. I've called the software manufacturer. They've confirmed that the software is more than capable of doing it. You know, the last board meeting I was up there, Mr. Craigle was adamant on just interrupting me while I was trying to present what was going on to them to ask me questions that were completely not relevant to what I was up there to do. Ms. Jones herself was interrupting me with more excuses. Oh, well, you know we were going through a software upgrade. Those are excuses. You know, she's not doing her job over there. The board's doing nothing to make her do her job. You know, I've already asked the board to get rid of her. She's not doing her job. You know, everyone's entitled to this 10% cap. So the reason I'm here today is to ask you to put all of your votes on the 2 new nominees and don't give any of your votes to the existing CAB members. So thank you.
Thank you.
And at this time, we have a great recognition of Becky Sims for completing the Central Texas Council of Government Leadership Academy. And Judge Hoyer,
Yes, am I late or is it just perfect?
you're right
timing?
on time, brother.
I'll take the perfect timing, I believe, right here. It is. It's my privilege and honor to make a presentation this evening to this young lady who has completed a leadership class and a leadership certification. And I've got to read a little bit about it because it's quite impressive. Leadership Central Texas is a program offered by the Development District of Central Texas to citizens with an interest in leadership who live or work within the 7-county region served by the Central Texas Council of Governments, which includes Bell, Coryell, Hamilton, Lampasas, Milam, Mills, San Saba counties. The purpose of Leadership Central Texas is to identify and develop regional leaders to promote awareness of regional and state leadership opportunities in fields including local government, social services, economic development, and to create a network of relationships among leaders to ensure the growth and future of well-being of the Central Texas region. This year's program took place over 3 days and covered the following topics: federal, state, local government, and Central Texas Council of Government Services, regional infrastructure and social services, leadership opportunities, entrepreneurship, economic and business development. Overall, there were 10 graduates of the Leadership Central Texas from local governments, organizations, businesses all around the region. Becky was successful in completing the program, and it is my honor to present her with this certificate right here. Let me get my glasses off. I'll look better with that. There you go. Thank you. Okay. Again, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Becky. 2.1, discussion and possible action concerning the approval of minutes of the regular meetings held on October 23rd, 2023.
I didn't see any corrections. Recommend approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda, discussion and possible actions regarding the purchase and charges in excess of $4,000 from October 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
You gotta read it.
Sorry.
On page 4 of the review of the report of meeting, the watch guard, payments to watch guard, is that annual? Okay. Oh, she answered it for me.
Correct. Read 3.2, discussion and possible action to consider the second reading of an ordinance to rezone 0.38 acres of land out of Hillcrest Edition, Lot 1, Block 5, Lampasas, Texas. Lampasas County, from a two-family residence district duplex SF2 to commercial C.
Now I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? City manager's report.
Evening again, Mayor and Council. Just a few brief comments on the memo that's included in your packet. Starting with the eclipse, we did kind of have a staff check-in meeting on November 2nd, primarily to discuss the tabletop exercise in November, as well as the town hall meeting that we're going to hold on Wednesday, December 13th. The tabletop exercises intend to uncover possible holes in the city's planning through running through basic different scenarios that we might encounter. The town hall, I think there are three broad categories that staff felt like they wanted to cover within the town hall, including the planning up to this point. I think we need to continue to educate our citizens about what to expect. The line Chief Smith always uses, don't go get your prescription at Walmart on Monday if that's what you normally do. You either need to get it the week before or wait till it's over, because there will be disruptions, and we want to make sure that our citizens are well aware of that. We have also documented and verified contractor services and equipment providers. Water, with the exception of a little air in our lines causing some temporary milky water, the city is back to reasonably normal conditions after the main rupture in Kentner a week or so ago. I do know that I did hear from one of you today about someone with a complaint of brown water. We have not gotten any calls on discolored water other than air in the line. So, but if you do get a call, somebody tells you, hey, I'm getting some discolored water, please call us, because we usually dispatch somebody almost immediately to go flush in that area. And we know that we're going to have to continue to do a lot of flushing, but please let us know if you do get a comment like that. Encourage them to call, or call me, or call anyone if you're inclined to do that. We did through that event maintain our water pressure. That was because we were able to release water in the Georgetown tank, kept our lower pressure plane pressurized, as well as able to fill the Nix tank through the Spring Street pump station. We also want to update you regarding Central Texas. As council is aware, and has been previously reported, they did have damage to their raw water pump system lines wiring at the Lake Cliff plant. When we had that spike, I believe it was on October 26th, when we had that spike in flow into a still house. At the time of the publication of this memo, their plant remained down. I mean, nothing was coming out of Lake Cliff. They were able to backfeed some water that was primarily going to West Bell, and we've been basically being supplied through the Kentner system while that plant has been down. I'm pleased to report that as of late Thursday, Lee Kelly called, and they were able to get pump number 5 operational, which should be able to supply us with plus or minus 2,000 gallons a minute, which should meet our needs. They continue to work on the pump 6 and 7. It is a day-by-day siege that they are experiencing. We're hopeful that they can make incremental improvements as over the next several weeks. I think the other thing that we wanted to touch base with you on is, and we've mentioned this to you as well, is the need to flush our lines. Because we've got, through conservation, water is sitting in our pipes longer than it normally does. We're obviously not an irrigation system, but we feel like it's better to let our residents flush for us if at all possible. So without objection, staff would like to go to stage 3. If there is objection, please let me know, and we will bring it back to you. But we think that's a reasonable thing to do. It certainly falls in line with what Kentner is currently doing. and hopefully it'll allow us to push a little bit more water through our system, which is needed. I do want to take the opportunity. I know I've introduced these folks to you previously, but Bruce Sorensen, General Manager for Kentner Water Supply Corp., is in attendance, as well as their board president, Dennis Kleiza. So we welcome them. It's better to work together than not. And we've been fighting for a long time, and we may still have some fights that we experience, but we're certainly hopeful that by including everybody, we can solve more problems. So we're pleased that they're here, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that when we take up the emergency water agreement. EMS report is included in your packet. Of those 379 total calls for service, 177 were initiated in the city of Lampasas, or 47%. Of note is that they still remain well within their target on response times at 5 minutes and 12 seconds for the city. Hostess House, we did receive updated floor plans, and we will be providing comment back to Reliance this week. At first glance, there are some things that we do want to point out to them. We're hopeful that their subs, primarily MEP Structural, can get their job done here after this initial review by staff. We may get another plan set at a different level of completion for our review, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Chamber, we just wanted to pass on the information in case you have not gotten a save the date card in the mail, which perhaps most of you did. Maybe it's in your mailbox, but February 17th is a Chamber Wild West Casino Night that benefits Vision Lampasas, the Lampasas Lions Club, and the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm sure Ross can tell you about where to get tickets. Be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Go to 7.1, discussion and selection of website photo contest winner. Looks like we have 2 entries, number 1 and 2.
I'll make a motion on entry 2.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And it looks like 2 is the winner. Discussion and possible action regarding voting of individual for the Lampasas Central Appraisal District Board of Directors.
Mayor and Council, this was discussed in the workshop session, but I would just remind you, your motion language, we would ask that would be to consider a motion to cast X number of votes for this person and approve a resolution for candidates. So to cast the votes in number and name, or name and number, and then approve the resolution as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but I think we've or do some math for you.
I'd like to make
Turn my microphone on. I'd like to make a motion to cast 139 votes for Chris Harrison and 139 votes for Bill Peterson.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And this is a non-discussion item? Or we can discuss? Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I have some discussion because I believe that Ross Oliver would like to continue, and so I don't feel good about just giving all our votes to two new people personally. No, you said it's discussion.
I like Ross too. But this is not a vote against Ross. It's a vote for 2 people. And there are plenty of other entities out there, in my opinion, that are still yet to vote. We are the first group at this point that I'm aware of to vote on something like this, for this.
How many total votes are there?
We only have 5%.
How many total? Total votes? 5,000.
We're 5%,
Yes, sir.
roughly.
So we just vote. We call for a vote then.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Oh, 7.4, discussion and possible actions regarding the approval of Wings of Eagles skate competition event. I'm sorry. You guys are rushing me. 7.3, discussion and possible actions regarding the approval of emergency water supply agreement between the City of Lampasas and Kentner Water Supply Corporation.
Mayor and Council, this agreement was also provided to you by email on November 2nd. It's certainly been discussed previously at the previous meeting. I just want to point out the agreement does not supersede the 2006 wholesale water contract. It simply provides us a contingency. And as staff, I think I want to express my thanks to Kentner Water Supply Corporation for putting this together. I'd be happy to entertain any questions. And Mayor, without objection, if the chairperson or the president for Kentner or the general manager had any comments, I might invite that without objection.
Absolutely.
I move to approve the resolution regarding the emergency water supply agreement between the City of Lampasas and Kentner Water Supply Corporation as presented.
Second.
And discussion, we can have Mr. Sorensen come up.
You can do it now or after, or whatever council decides.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Okay.
I don't really have anything to say unless you have some questions for me about that contract. We're happy to provide the water. We've been providing the water. Can you hear me now? Yeah, sorry. So we're happy to provide the water, and I don't really have any discussion unless you have questions for me.
Thank you.
7.4, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of Wings of Eagles skate competition event at the Lampasas Skate Park, December the 16th, 2023, from noon till 4 o'clock p.m.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is placed on the agenda to approve another activity that the Wings of Eagles has put together. This is going to be a fundraising event. It's going to be on December 16th from noon till 4. They will have vendors, exhibitors. They'll have some vendors that will sell some merchandise for them as well, maybe some food vendors. But just a day for all to have fun and see some skaters out there on the skate park. So I'm asking to consider our motion to approve the Wings of Eagles outreach event at the Lampasas Skate Park on December 16th from noon till 4.
Move to approve Wings of Eagles outreach event at the Lampasas Skate Park on December 16th, 2023 from noon to 4 p.m.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Becky, does Wings of Eagles have their own general liability insurance, or would any injuries fall on the city during this event?
I'll get back to you. I'm sure they do have insurance, but I don't know that information this evening. But I can get back to you and let you know for sure.
I was under the impression that when we had a community, like an organization like Laughter or Wings of Eagles had an event on city property, that they had to have event insurance.
I would agree with you, but I can't answer this specifically for this evening. So I want to make sure I verify with her what she has available before I say on her behalf.
Isn't that like a requirement that we have as a city?
I can answer that for you this evening. I'll check on it to verify. I mean, yes, it is ideal, and yes, we prefer them to have the insurance because they do a waiver when they have events at the park and other things that they do. So we're not held liable, but I don't know that I have it written somewhere to give that to you.
I think it's imperative that they have something in place, specifically for this type of event. I know it's available. I used to sell it, so I know it's out there.
Move to
I will
amend,
verify.
move to amend that motion, that previous motion, to be contingent upon the Wings of Eagle having some kind of event insurance for December 16th for their event.
Is,
Got a second?
you got a second?
Okay.
Zach made the original.
Zach gave the original.
Or kill the original. We have to vote on the original.
Vote on the second.
Vote on. Okay, we're gonna vote on the second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Now we go back to the first. On the motion that Zach made, all in favor? Okay.
Explain this to me again.
So we just
We're
voted
good.
on the amendment.
Yes.
We're amended.
That passed, and then now we're voting on the original that has
Okay.
an amendment in there that's contingent,
Yes.
approval's contingent on the insurance.
Correct. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seven point five, discussion and possible action regarding the engineered proposal related to the water study for alternative water solutions. Mayor and Council, we were hopeful to receive the proposal prior to the meeting tonight. I think the summary statement indicated that we had not received it at the time of publication. It is not ready. I did talk with Mr. Jones today, and he will be getting that to us prior to the meeting on the 27th.
I'd recommend we take no action on this right now. Don't make any motions, and we'll just bring it back up on next agenda.
Second.
Nope. Yeah, we don't have to make any motions.
Do you need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.